Before the lightning bolt, before Ziggy, before the alien messiah, the thin white duke, the man who fell to earth, there was a teenage boy sitting calmly in a BBC studio. He wore a suit, spoke with quiet defiance, and unknowingly, he was about to ignite a cultural fuse. This wasn't David Bowie yet, it was David Jones. And with one simple, profound sentence, "We don't see why people should persecute us because of this," he accidentally revealed the future. Welcome to Trending Moment Now. Today, we're not just remembering David Bowie, the icon. We're tracing the precise, almost imperceptible moment rebellion entered the room, not with a bang, but with a polite yet unyielding knock. Join us as we journey back to a pivotal instant that shaped not just a legend, but an entire generation's understanding of identity and defiance. In November 1964, Britain was a nation still clinging to its post-war sensibilities. It was a time of stiff collars, carefully combed hair, and an unspoken expectation of conformity. Society valued respectability above all else, and deviation from the norm was often met with suspicion, if not outright scorn. The cultural landscape was on the cusp of a seismic shift, but many were still firmly rooted in tradition. Then, a seemingly unassuming 17-year-old appeared on BBC's Tonight program. He introduced himself as the founder of something that sounded both utterly serious and delightfully mischievous: the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Long-Haired Men. This wasn't just a quirky headline, it was a direct challenge to the prevailing social order, delivered with an unexpected calm. It sounds almost comical now, doesn't it? A society dedicated to defending men's right to grow their hair. And yes, there was an undeniable cheekiness to the whole affair, a youthful audacity that was characteristic of the burgeoning counterculture. But beneath the surface of this playful protest lay a profound bravery, a willingness to stand up for personal expression in a world that often demanded uniformity. David Jones spoke eloquently about the daily indignities he and others faced. He recounted being mocked, harassed, and belittled simply for the length of his hair. Comments like, "Darling," or "Can I carry your handbag?" were hurled at him, not as playful banter, but as thinly veiled insults designed to shame and diminish. These were not isolated incidents. They were a pervasive societal judgment. And then, he uttered something quietly radical, a statement that resonated far beyond the studio walls. That has to stop. There was no shouting, no overt anger, no aggressive posturing, just a calm, reasoned resistance, a quiet assertion of personal autonomy. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated defiance, delivered with an almost unsettling composure. My opinion? That moment matters far more than most people realize. It wasn't just a fleeting television appearance, it was a harbinger of things to come. Because rebellion doesn't always kick the door down with a revolutionary fervor. Sometimes it simply knocks, politely but firmly, and then steadfastly refuses to leave, slowly eroding the foundations of outdated norms. It's a powerful lesson in the subtle art of cultural transformation. Let's be honest with ourselves. This appearance was, in part, a calculated move. David Jones, even at 17, was already a budding artist hungry for recognition. He wanted attention for his music, for his band, for his burgeoning creative ambitions. He had already made appearances on other BBC music programs, tirelessly working to get his sound heard. His bandmates, in a stroke of youthful ingenuity, conveniently made up the majority of the movement he represented. It was a clever piece of self-promotion, a way to leverage a quirky idea for maximum impact. This biographical detail adds a layer of strategic thinking to his early career, showing an innate understanding of how to capture the public's imagination. But here's the crucial distinction. A mere publicity stunt only truly works, only truly resonates, if it taps into something real, something deeply felt within the collective consciousness. And in the mid-1960s, long hair on men wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a profound act of confrontation, a visible symbol of a generational divide. It was a silent protest against the rigid expectations of masculinity and conformity. The cultural analysis of the era reveals a society grappling with rapid change. Schoolboys were expelled from classrooms for their unruly locks. Workers were sent home from their jobs, their livelihoods threatened by a simple hairstyle. One famous anecdote tells of a welder who caused an entire factory strike because he steadfastly refused to cut his hair, highlighting the intense emotional and social weight attached to this seemingly trivial issue. So, when young Bowie, with an almost prophetic insight, declared, "If anybody is chucked out of a factory job, we'll get a petition written up," he wasn't just delivering a punchline. He was articulating a nascent understanding of identity politics, instinctively defending the right to self-expression and challenging the arbitrary rules that governed people's lives. It was a powerful, empathetic statement from a teenager. And yes, by today's standards, his hair wasn't even particularly long. It barely brushed his collar. The true rebellion, the profound cultural statement, wasn't about the physical length of the hair itself. It was about the audacious, unapologetic choice to wear it that way, to assert personal freedom in the face of societal pressure. It was a quiet declaration of independence, a precursor to the many transformations that would define his legendary career. The 1960s, despite their revolutionary spirit, were not an easy ride for David Jones. His early career was a series of false starts and near misses. Record deals failed to materialize into lasting success. Musical styles shifted with dizzying speed, leaving many artists struggling to find their footing. His confidence, undoubtedly, wavered under the weight of repeated setbacks and unfulfilled potential. He tried everything, experimenting with various personas and musical genres in a relentless search for his artistic voice. He donned the sharp suits of the mod movement, embracing its rebellious yet stylish aesthetic. He explored the introspective world of the folk troubadour, strumming an acoustic guitar and weaving poetic narratives. He delved into the vibrant, kaleidoscopic sounds of psychedelic rock, chasing the era's mind-expanding sonic frontiers. Each phase was a stepping stone, a learning experience. Then came a practical, yet pivotal problem. Another Davy Jones was already famous, already a household name, charming audiences as a member of the wildly popular American pop group, the Monkees. To avoid confusion and carve out his own distinct identity, David Jones knew he needed a new name, a moniker that would set him apart and hint at the extraordinary artist he was destined to become. He chose a new name, one inspired by the legendary American frontiersman, Jim Bowie. Jim Bowie was a rebel, a fighter, a symbol of rugged individualism and the untamed spirit of the American frontier. This choice was deeply symbolic, reflecting a desire for strength, uniqueness, and a pioneering spirit. It was a conscious act of self-creation, a deliberate step towards forging a new identity. And so, David Bowie was born. This wasn't just a name change, it was a metamorphosis, a shedding of the old skin, and an embrace of a new, more potent persona. It marked the beginning of an unparalleled journey of artistic reinvention and cultural impact. And soon after this pivotal transformation, the world would meet another iconic creation, a character who would launch Bowie into the stratosphere of global consciousness, Major Tom. When Space Oddity finally connected with audiences in 1969, it wasn't merely because of its timely association with the moon landing. Its enduring power lay not in the rockets and the technological marvels, but in its profound exploration of isolation, a theme that resonated deeply with listeners across the globe. It captured a universal human experience, cloaked in a futuristic narrative. Bowie himself later explained that Major Tom was far more than just an astronaut. He was a potent metaphor, a symbol of the alienated individual. He represented the teenager floating alone in the vastness of space, unseen, unheard, and profoundly misunderstood. This interpretation elevates the song from a simple sci-fi narrative to a poignant commentary on the human condition, particularly relevant to young adults grappling with their place in the world. "My craft," he famously declared, referring to Major Tom's vessel, "was art." That line, a simple yet profound statement, gets me every single time. It's a revelation, a key that unlocks the deeper meaning behind his early struggles and his relentless pursuit of self-expression. It reframes his entire artistic journey, from the quiet defiance of his youth to the cosmic narratives of his music. Because suddenly, That seemingly innocuous BBC interview from 1964 makes perfect, undeniable sense. The long hair, the calm defiance in the face of ridicule, the insistent need to be different, to carve out his own space, these were not random acts. They were early manifestations of an artist searching for his voice, for his medium, for his craft. He wasn't merely chasing fleeting fame or superficial recognition. He was searching for oxygen, for the space to breathe, to create, to exist authentically. He was seeking a platform where his unique vision could flourish, where his inner world could be externalized and shared. Space Oddity became that oxygen, a testament to the power of art to articulate the ineffable feelings of loneliness and longing that reside within us all. Then, David Bowie did something truly extraordinary, something that irrevocably altered the landscape of popular culture. He stopped asking for permission. He shed the constraints of societal expectations and embraced a radical form of self-expression that challenged every preconceived notion of gender, identity, and performance. This was not just fashion. It was a declaration of war on conformity. He wore dresses on album covers, not as a gimmick, but as a deliberate act of provocation and liberation. He created Ziggy Stardust, an alien rock star who blurred the lines between male and female, human and extraterrestrial, reality and fantasy. This wasn't merely about shocking the establishment. It was about freeing the individual, about expanding the very definition of what it meant to be human. Bowie's audacious embrace of androgyny and theatricality had a profound impact. People who had never seen themselves reflected in mainstream culture, those who felt marginalized, different, or misunderstood, suddenly felt visible. They saw a glimmer of their own complex identities mirrored in his fearless artistry, finding validation and a sense of belonging in his defiant self-expression. From being mocked and ridiculed for the simple length of his hair, a symbol of minor deviation, he evolved into a powerful mirror for millions. He reflected back to them their own desires for freedom, their own struggles with identity, and their own potential for radical self-acceptance. This transformation is not irony. It is a testament to the profound power of artistic evolution, a journey from quiet defiance to global liberation. This period marks a crucial point in cultural history, where music and fashion converged to challenge deeply ingrained social norms. Bowie didn't just wear clothes, he weaponized them, turning fabric and makeup into tools for social commentary and personal empowerment. He showed the world that identity was fluid, performative, and ultimately a matter of individual choice, paving the way for future generations to explore their own authentic selves. Glam rock, soul, the experimental Berlin trilogy, pop superstardom, industrial experiments. David Bowie didn't merely chase trends, he created them, then abandoned them with a restless spirit before they ever had a chance to become comfortable or conventional. His career was a masterclass in constant becoming, a testament to the power of artistic evolution. He understood that stagnation was the enemy of creativity. Each new album, each new persona, was a deliberate shedding of the old, a fearless leap into the unknown. This wasn't just about musical genres. It was a philosophical approach to life and art, a commitment to perpetual transformation. He taught us that identity is not fixed, but a dynamic, ever-changing landscape. He once described his work as future nostalgia, a concept that perfectly encapsulates his unique vision. He was looking back at things that hadn't happened yet, anticipating cultural shifts and emotional landscapes before they fully materialized. This foresight, this ability to tap into the zeitgeist before it even formed, is what cemented his status as a true visionary. That might just be the most Bowie sentence ever spoken. It speaks to his uncanny ability to be both ahead of his time and deeply rooted in the human experience. It highlights his role as a cultural prophet, an artist who not only reflected the times, but actively shaped them, guiding us towards new ways of seeing and being. His legacy is a testament to the power of embracing change. His relentless reinvention wasn't just for his own artistic satisfaction, it was an inspiration to countless others. He showed us that it's okay to change, to explore different facets of ourselves, to shed old skins and embrace new ones. This philosophy of constant becoming is perhaps his most enduring gift, a powerful message for anyone navigating the complexities of identity in a rapidly changing world. Years later, long after his initial acts of rebellion, Bowie looked at the nascent internet and, with characteristic prescience, smiled. He didn't see just a new technology. He saw a new frontier, a digital Wild West brimming with both promise and peril. His insights into its potential were remarkably accurate, especially considering the early stage of its development. He called it subversive, recognizing its inherent power to disrupt established hierarchies and challenge traditional gatekeepers of information and culture. He saw its chaotic nature, understanding that its decentralized structure would lead to an explosion of diverse voices and unpredictable outcomes. And crucially, he recognized its rebellious spirit, its capacity to empower individuals and foster new forms of community. He warned that it would be both exhilarating and terrifying, a duality that perfectly describes our current digital landscape. This was before the widespread adoption of social media, before the ubiquity of streaming services, before algorithms began to dictate our tastes and filter our realities. His vision was remarkably clear, anticipating the profound impact this technology would have on human interaction and cultural consumption. And yet, here we are. We are watching, sharing, connecting, and finding identity through screens, just as he predicted. We navigate a world saturated with digital information, constantly curating our online personas and engaging with global communities. His words resonate with an almost eerie accuracy, highlighting his extraordinary ability to perceive future trends. He saw us coming. He understood the fundamental human need for connection, for expression, for belonging, and how the internet would both fulfill and complicate those desires. His early embrace of online platforms, including launching his own internet service provider, demonstrated his commitment to exploring this new frontier, solidifying his reputation as a true innovator and a visionary ahead of his time. There's a famous anecdote. Bowie once met the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom wearing high heels and a clerical collar. And what was the reaction? No one blinked. This wasn't a scandal. It was simply Bowie being Bowie. This moment, seemingly trivial, speaks volumes about the profound cultural shift he helped orchestrate. That's when you truly know a rebel has won. When the shock disappears, when the outrageous becomes ordinary, when the once transgressive is simply accepted as part of the cultural fabric. It signifies a fundamental change in societal attitudes, a broadening of what is considered acceptable and even celebrated. Bowie didn't just push boundaries, he moved them entirely. The teenager once mocked and ridiculed for his slightly long hair, for daring to express a subtle difference, changed the rules so completely that difference itself became ordinary. He didn't just advocate for tolerance, he embodied a radical acceptance of individuality that permeated popular culture. He showed us that authenticity, in all its varied forms, was not something to be hidden, but to be celebrated. His journey from a quiet, defiant teenager to a global icon who normalized radical self-expression is a powerful testament to the enduring impact of artistic courage. He paved the way for countless artists and individuals to embrace their unique identities, to challenge norms, and to live authentically. His legacy is a world where the long hair of individuality is no longer a cause for persecution, but a badge of honor. That 1964 interview wasn't just a piece of forgotten trivia from a bygone era. It was prophecy. It was a quiet boy, David Jones, standing up and saying, with an almost understated power, "I deserve to exist as I am. My choices, my identity, my self-expression, they are valid." It was a fundamental assertion of human dignity and autonomy. And the world, slowly but surely, eventually agreed. It took time, it took courage, and it took the relentless artistry of David Bowie to bring that prophecy to fruition. But the seed was planted in that BBC studio, a tiny act of rebellion that blossomed into a global movement of self-acceptance and creative freedom. His story is a powerful reminder that even the smallest acts of defiance can ignite the greatest revolutions. If this story moved you, made you smile, or made you think about the power of individuality and the journey of self-discovery, do me a favor. Tap that like button. It's a small gesture, But it tells YouTube this story, this moment of quiet rebellion, deserves more eyes, more ears, and more hearts. Share this video with someone who loves music, who admires David Bowie, or who is striving to be unapologetically themselves in a world that often demands conformity. Let them be inspired by the courage of a young man who dared to be different. Drop a comment below. I read them, I promise. And tell us what Bowie's legacy means to you, or what long hair you've chosen to wear in your own life. And if you're new here, subscribe to Trending Moment now. We don't just cover moments, we uncover why they mattered, exploring the cultural threads that connect the past to our present. We delve into the stories that shaped us, the artists who inspired us, and the movements that continue to resonate. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and never, ever apologize for your metaphorical long hair.